All right, what's up? I know I haven't made a video in a little bit, but just has been busy. Business has been picking up a little bit. Estimates been coming in. Um, Weather's warming up, so that's a good thing. So hopefully it continues. Our rankings have still kind of been shaky, so I don't know exactly know how they're managing to find us. We have some referrals that are coming in, but I got to dig into the analytics a little bit. There might be other combinations of keywords that people are finding us through. Might be local. Um, Although we don't really rank too well on local, it's strictly been organic thus far. I've also been considering running some ads, so I've put in like $2,000-3,000 into Google Ads just to have it sitting there, so I can set up the ads and start running them. Um, yeah, it's been a little minute. It's been a minute since I've run Google Ads, and they've kind of changed a lot. It seems like they're trying to restrict you a lot more into as to like what either you can get very granular or you just let them run everything and there's like no middle ground. But I know for a fact if you just put like on performance max, for example, um, they're just going to run your ad everywhere and it's not going to have good metrics. So I also need to set up tags to track conversions. So once that gets done, I'll start to dig into exactly how to set up a good campaign. It's been a little bit, but that should help in the short term. Rankings have been, like I said, just kind of shaky. Some days we see an improvement. Some days it's right back down to like position 12, position 11. So we're building links slowly. So we'll see how that goes. Uh, but yeah, I think where we left off last time was we were building lists using Claude. And let me just open that here real quick. And yeah, and it was going really well. So where we're at right now is we have the 3-week warm up for email accounts. All email accounts are warmed up. If I go here, if I show you real quick one of these email accounts, you can see that 165 warm up emails sent, 165 landed in inbox. We got the 2-week warm up period successfully done, and we're ready to go. We're ready to rock and roll. So last time, we were doing a bunch of different methods. Claude 3.7, Sonnet with the extended version, building out tools to scrape each website worked beautifully. I deployed that on a DigitalOcean droplet, and it was great. The only hiccup that you might run into if you're doing the same method is certain websites use like Cloudflare protection to protect against scrapers, and once that happens, the bot or the scraper will start returning like email protected or something like that. I've tried multiple times to get around this using the scraper, but it's difficult. Again, a workaround for this would be magical if you have the time for that, or if you don't have the time for that, just do what I did. I just hired a VA to go and do it. You can hire somebody on Fiverr if you want to take a chance like that. But Upwork is a great place to find VAs, or onlinejobs.ph. So find a VA, have them scrape those lists that aren't able to be scraped through your scraper. And we have a bunch of lists now. So if I go to real estate agents, we have a bunch of lists. These are not all the lists that I want. There are more real estate companies that I'm finding, but they are more boutique. These are just kind of the bigger ones. Again, we got this list from Perplexity. We went on Perplexity and we asked Perplexity, like, give me the top real estate firms in New York City, the up and coming ones and the biggest ones, and generated a list. We're going off that list and creating all these individual lists of all the different real estate agent firms, right? And once we do that, what we need to do now is go into Smart Lead and start creating email campaigns. We'll start creating a campaign, upload the CSV file, run the set up the sequences, and then run it. But before we do that, there's one other step that we need to do, and that's basically verifying the emails. And why verifying the emails is so important is because when we're running cold email campaigns, we want to make sure that we're sending emails to inboxes that can actually receive emails. Because for your email service provider, if they see that you're sending emails to email accounts that don't exist, they're going to consider that spam, and then they're going to start dinging your deliverability, which we don't want. We want our deliverability to stay high, so we want to make sure that the email accounts that we scraped here, like for this, for instance, we want to make sure that they're actually valid emails that we can actually send to. So how you do that is you can use services called there's Neverbounce. I think Million Verifier is also popular. Let me just make sure that's what it's called, Million Verifier. Yeah, Million Verifier, the #1 email verification service. But I have Neverbounce. I've used Neverbounce just because last year with Clay. Sorry, just getting a phone call. Sorry about that. So Neverbounce, Million Verifier, Neverbounce. I use Neverbounce because last year running Clay, they had a Neverbounce integration where you can kind of plug in your API key. Clay, if you don't know, it's just a giant spreadsheet essentially, and the spreadsheet can link to different APIs. So you can link to OpenAI, have them. You can also link to Zenrose, which is a scraper, Neverbounce for verifier, all in one spreadsheet, which is amazing, which is awesome. But don't really think it's necessary now because we can do this all in Google Sheets, essentially, I think. So you need to verify these emails so that you make sure that you're sending to legitimate sources. I think Million Verifier, you can kind of bulk verify. I don't know if you can. I haven't logged into it in a little bit. Let me just see if I can. I don't know if I have an account or not. Oh yeah, I do. So you can file upload, you can paste an email list, and this doesn't look like it has like a limit, which is good. Which I think why a lot of I have a bunch of credits on here too. So you could have just used Million Verifier. They do a great job. The reason I have Neverbounce is because again we had the Clay integration. So if you go to Neverbounce and you go to verify, for some reason you can only enter up to 10 emails separated by, so I can't, we have lists of 2,000 emails on some lists. I can't be sitting here entering 10 emails at a time. And there's no way to upload a CSV. So they do have an API because again, it integrated into Clay. So what I did last night was I went to Claude and I basically verifier tool. Is that it? No. I've created this tool basically that will MB bulk verifier. This one, MB bulk verifier. So I've created this tool using Claude, using Neverbounce API to bulk verify, thousands of emails at a time. So what you do is you just go to your Neverbounce account. If you have Neverbounce, again, you can avoid all this if you have Million Verifier. But you go to integrate, you go to bulk, you create an application that you're going to use, copy your API key into here, and then you can paste all your email addresses and it'll start verifying. So let me just get my API key real quick, and then I'll show you how this works. Okay, I've pasted in my API key here, and the API isn't stored or anything like that. It's just used for verification purposes. So it like just plugs in your API key when you're trying to verify. And what I'll do is I'll just grab this entire list of email addresses for, I don't know what this, Highline Residential, and then paste them here. It'll say it's 353 emails detected, and then you just hit verify emails and it'll start. And what this should do is it should go through every single email address and start verifying it, and it'll return at the end a list of valid emails and invalid emails and unknown. So there's emails that are like catch-alls. So like these are emails that like accept all emails through to their inbox. We don't want to send to those because those are also not actual email addresses that we want to target. And then there's invalid emails. The reason I'm thinking that they're invalid emails, even though we're scraping all this like yesterday from a website, is because some of these real estate agents, they might have left the agency and they just never got around to removing them from the website, although they've deactivated their email account. So looking through here, it doesn't look like there are any that are invalid so far, which would be great. Just as I said that, there's one here that is invalid. I don't know if you can see it. There's another one. But yeah, so the goal here is to have as many valid emails as possible so that we can send as many emails as possible. All right. So once this is done, I'll show you what the download thing kind of looks like. If you want access to this, let me know. I'll just shoot me a comment or something. I'll give you access. But this is a great way to get around having to plug in plug in 10 emails at a time. So yeah, once the email list is verified, what I'm doing to actually clean my list, some people call it enriching, or I just call it cleaning. So like this is one that I just did, right? So this is the original list. This is the list that we're going to get back once the download is done. This is the preliminary version where it gives you the full list, meaning you have valid and invalid and unknowns in here. And what I did was I just did a VLOOKUP from this sheet. I just basically told Google Sheets to take a look at this email address, compare it with these two columns, and return the second column results. That's how a VLOOKUP works. And basically it gave me a cross-reference between the emails and which are valid and invalid. I took this and I then went to ChatGPT. I'm using 4.5, and I just asked ChatGPT to clean up the CSV and return it in a downloadable CSV. When they're cleaning it, return the names broken into first name and last name, because we want to send the emails addressing them directly. And we don't want to just be like, hey, first name, last name. We just want to say, hey, first name. And then remove the records that do not have a valid verification. I downloaded the CSV. I crossed references. I double checked it. It did a great job. It has all the emails intact, all the mobile phone numbers intact, which is amazing. So that's how I'm going to clean all these lists. To clean the list in the past, it might have been manual. It might have been like conditional formatting, going through each row, deleting each row, or something like that. But now we have the power of AI, so we can just send it over to ChatGPT and it'll do the hard work for us. I'm planning to do this for each list, but not all at once. I don't need to do that. After this, we're going to start the sequencing of the actual cold emails, and I kind of won't show you all of that template wise, but once that's done, I guess I'll report back on the actual results. Like, what's the open rate? How many people are replying back, and what kind of replies are we getting? I would imagine a lot of people are going to be like, stop emailing me, or they won't reply at all. But there might be a certain subsection of these certain percentage that might actually have a positive reply, and we got to think about what the follow up is, and it's interesting to think of what we're doing right now, because typically you use like this cold email strategy for digital products, SaaS, I've seen it used for bookkeeping. We've used it for SEO services, web design, right? It's just, and when you present something like this in that kind of space, you always lead with an offer. And that offer is, try us out for free for 10 days, or, we'll get you this type of result, or your money back, or guaranteed money back. So it reduces the risk of, and reduces the commitment of the recipient to actually give you a response. But in this case, we're looking for high ticket jobs, and there isn't really an offer that we can lead with. However, I think, so this is something that we're going to need to figure out. Like, what is the offer? Right? What is the offer? And is there even an offer? And I think that's something that we should split test. If there is an offer, if there is one, run against no offer or something like that. And we'll do some split tests. We'll do some A/B testing on subject lines, openers. But really the template of this will be like, hey, I'm Will. Plug in somebody that they might know. We just did a project on Fifth Avenue with XYZ. I'm just reaching out because I think we can help you out with future projects. If it's all right with you, I'd love to send over our portfolio. Bam, that's it. That's one test, and another test will be, if there is an offer, we'll think of something, and that we'll run those two tests against each other. But yeah, so let's just see if that list is done. It's almost done. I just want to show you what this tool kind of looks like, because I spent like about an hour last night just playing around with Claude, doing this, building this tool, because I think it's, number one, I know Clay can do it, so why doesn't Neverbounce allow more than 10 emails? Doesn't make sense to me. So built the tool that can do this. If you scroll to the bottom, you'll have a download button, but then you can download all results or only the valid emails only, which I think is great. If I were to then put in another list after this, you'll have a verification history tab where you can download, past lists, which I think if you're doing multiple lists at once, like I am, this is a great feature to have. So yeah, just thought I'd showcase this, another cool tool workaround to kind of make our lives easier. And yeah, I'll hopefully report back soon with some favorable news. But until then, hope this has been helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.